Welcome to Custom Tools for SolidWorks. In this guided video, we will go through the main features of Custom Tools, containing the Custom Tools database, profile, and user. Then we'll move to the SolidWorks side, where I will present the custom options, custom property, how to generate automatic file name, the batch printing and conversion, then the custom copy, and the link to the ERP. The Custom Tools database. So the Custom Tools database is used to store all the file reference of your SolidWorks documents. So the database can be installed on the SQL server so that it can be accessed by all the Custom Tools and SolidWorks users. You can also use it to manage your profile, the user groups, and users. So here we have the administration tool where the Custom Tools database can be created. Normally you are offered to create the Custom Tools database once you install Custom Tools, or you can also upgrade it if you have been using earlier version of Custom Tools and upgrading to the latest version. So here we have the server where Custom Tools is installed. Here we have the Custom Tools database that I have created. Here we have the link to the external database which have been linked to Custom Tools. So if I click new here, then I can create a link to a new external database. And then here we have the different profiles. So the profiles are can be used by multiple SolidWorks users. They can use the same profiles, and the information are shared between the same profiles. Then we have some user groups, so we can assign different rights to specific user groups. And here we have the Custom Tools users, so we can assign users to specific user groups as well. The Custom Tools profile can be copied. You can also export them, for example, if you need to send your profile to support or to make a backup of your supply. Here we have the profile permissions, so you can assign specific rights to specific users who have been granted the rights to use a specific profile. The Custom Tools options. They can be accessed from SolidWorks or from the administration tool. So from SolidWorks you just click on Custom Tools and then Custom Options. The Custom Options is divided into three different tabs, so the database option, the profile option, and the user option. So the database option defines all the settings related to the Custom Tools database. Here, for example, we have the attribute. So the Custom Tools attribute is the link between the property, the custom property of your SolidWorks document and the information stored into the Custom Tools database. In addition, you can also manage your languages and also dictionaries, so you can add some new languages and also some new dictionaries from the custom options. The profile options are used to define all the settings related to your profile, so you can define new projects. You can also add different sequences that can be used for file naming. You will also use it to customize all the custom property pane of the part and assembly, the drawings, and also the cut list property. Here we have the revision table that can be customized. You can also define the different lookup lists that will be used in your custom property. And you will also define the combination of properties that will be used for part and assembly, drawings, and also weldments. So a combination of property is when you decide to combine multiple properties to create a new one. You can also define your RAL color, which are also used in the custom properties, or you can define a normal RGB color system. Under the batch option, you will define the print profile. So if you want to use Custom Tools for batch printing, then you can define the print profile here, as well as the batch conversion profile and the sheet format action, which are used to convert or reload an existing sheet format. And here we have the layer definition that allows you to turn on or off certain layer. We can also create some group to link your Custom Tools to link SolidWorks to your external database. You can define your own list of material. If you want to export the bill of material, for example, to an ERP system or to an Excel system, you need to create a profile, which is created here. Then here we have the CNC tool options, which basically embed all the sheet metal view into the Excel file and remove all annotation and scales it one-to-one. And then we have the CoBox options. Under the user options, those are options that can be defined specifically for users of custom tools that have been defined. So the users that we have defined here. For example, you can select the language dictionaries used by the custom properties and also the user interface language. Managing your custom properties with custom tools. Custom tools offers a fully integrated custom property pane that can be configured for part, assemblies, drawings, 3D models, so part and assemblies, and weldments also. So here in the action we can define what we want to do with the document. For example, we can make a save as, a rename. Also the drawings will be copied if we perform, for example, a save as. We can also define the properties for the document or then select a specific configuration. So for example, here I have two configurations. I have the red and the blue configuration. And here we have the custom property pane that I have defined. And here on the right side we have the search pane of custom tools that allows you to search documents based on the values of their custom property. So in order to customize the custom properties, you need to open the custom options and then activate the profile option tab. So here we have the custom properties. So for example, if I select model properties for part and assembly, here I have the document information, which is a group of properties that contains all those information. I can create as many groups as I want. And for example, if I want to add a property, then I open the custom property wizard. So the attribute can be directly entered here. So as I mentioned earlier, the attribute is the link between your SolidWorks custom property and the value stored into the database. So the attribute must be unique. You can only use it once. So for example, if I want to, for example, create a property to generate a code, so we'll call it get code. Here in the label I will define the name of the property as it will appear in the pane and also in the search pane here. I can, for example, here we can write get code, for example. Then I can use different type of custom properties. So I have a checkbox, a combo box. So a combo box and editable combo box are linked with lookup lists that we have defined here. Then I have the dates that can also be customized, or dimension, and edit box. So edit box is probably the most used property. So we select edit box for to get code. Under the code I can scope, I can select where the property will apply. So is it just for part, assembly, and model? If I want to define properties for drawings and weldment, then I need to select the drawing properties here or the cut list property. I have some options related to that particular property. So if it's a read-only, then it can only be read and cannot be modified. The value is required means that in order to be able to save the custom property, the user will have to define that particular custom property and then hidden. So for example, this can be used to hide a specific custom property. For example, if you use a key value pair, you can decide to hide the key. Then when I click next, I can select the function of the custom property if there is one to be used. So for example, I have the get mask. The after function, for example, if I select get code, I can decide that the color will also be applied to the model. And then if I want to insert a button, for example, I can have the get code to open the list of sequences that I have defined and select a specific sequence. So I have the get code and also the get right color, which are the color that we have defined here. So it's just open a small pane. Then if I want to link a custom property, for example, with an item with my ERP, I can open the get database item, which allows me to search directly into my ERP. I can also retrieve property from my dictionaries or insert a revision table. Then I have the data function. So for example, if I want to insert a combination of property, then we can see that the source property become active and also the combination. So I can select combination that I have defined here that will be created. I can also insert a list key value. So for example, if I have a custom property that use a key value pair, and then I can insert select it here, or also insert directly the translation retrieved from my dictionary. So here I have the database search group that I have created. So here, if I want to link a property with a specific property with an item from my ERP, I can enable the property in the search pane. So if I check this box, then the property will be available here. And I can also exclude it from the search condition. So here is where the format string, where I will define, for example, the date format that I want to use. And here I have some additional options. So I can, for example, clear the value if I do a save as. I can enable the value to be modified in the custom print, so it will be applied to the document that are processed. I can save my document in uppercase, define a maximum length, display in the design tree, and also display in custom print. So it allows me to select, for example, a document based on their custom property value. Customizing your drawing template with custom tools. Once I have defined the custom property, I can customize my drawing. So I will open the custom data. So here I can insert properties from the parts and assemblies and from the drawing, and I can also insert the revision table. So here I have the list of properties that I have defined, and then I can just edit the sheet format and insert them there. I just select a property and the property value is automatically inserted. Automatic file naming. In custom tools, you can use any of your custom property to generate a file name. So you can customize the way that you want custom tools to generate a file name. You can define an unlimited number of sequences. The sequences are shared between the designer using the same profile, which means that a code can only be generated once. You have also the possibility to combine custom properties together to create a new custom property. For example, here I'm combining the customer and the document code to generate a name for the property. The file naming options are defined in the custom options. Then I activate the profile option tab, and the file naming rules will be shared by all the users using that particular profile. So if I activate the project can be used to associate specific file naming rules per project. So for example, if I want to just define the file naming rules for the general, so here we have the rules used to define the file name for parts and assembly. I can use any, I need to select the custom property used to generate the file name here. So those are the custom properties that I have defined. I can use the file name. Under the save folder, I will define where the file will be saved. And if I select here this checkbox, it means that I will be allowed to save it in a different folder. If I select this checkbox here, it means that if the value used to generate the name of the SolidWorks document has been modified, the custom property value has been modified, then custom tools will offer the possibility to rename or just to ignore the new file name. And here we have the file name used to name the drawings. So we can define the drawings. We can use a property value from that we have defined for the drawings. We can use a property value defined for the 3D model, so for the part and assembly, or we can use a reference model name. So those two first one here can be used, for example, if you want to generate a drawing name per configuration. And then we can also define here the property used to, for example, generate the file name. And here we can define the destination folder. If I use the specific sequence numbering, this means that if I use this, I can associate a sequence to a specific project, and the sequence will always start from the beginning if the sequence is used in multiple projects. You can also define an unlimited number of sequences. So here we have the list of sequences that we have defined. To add a new sequence, I just click add, and here I can define the sequence name, for example, the maximum value, and the format data correspond to how the sequence will be generated. So for example, I can have some constant value and then define how the number will be generated. batch printing your document with the custom print. So the custom print can be used to convert or also to print your assemblies and all related document. So the printing is managed via profile. So here we have the profile. The profile can be used to select specific sheets to process. So for example, if I select the DXF, then all the sheets called DXF are selected. So we'll open the custom options where we can define the print profile. Activate the profile option tab, and then here we have the print properties. So here I have the print profile that I have defined. So for example, I can create a new one that will call for example sheet 1. Here if I want to select specific sheets associated with that profile, I will define them here. For example, if I want to select the for example sheet 1, and then here I will select the printing setting associated with that particular profile. So the default corresponds to the printer where the drawings will be printed, and the same for the part and assembly. And then I can associate a specific sheet format of SolidWorks. For example, if I select here the A2 DIN, I can associate it to a specific printer, paper size here, and orientation. Then I click finish, and you can associate as many sheet formats as you want with the same sheet printing profile here. Batch converting your SolidWorks documents. As for the batch printing, you're able to batch convert your SolidWorks documents. So here I have all the conversion profiles that I have defined, and I can select multiple profiles at once. So the batch conversion is also managed via profiles that can be defined in the custom options. So I open the profile option, then here I have the file conversion options. So I click add to add a new one. For example, I will call it PDF. So here I can select the file tab that I want to associate with that particular profile, and the conversion of 3D model is also supported. I have the conversion option, so that those are options associated with the PDF profile. I can select to what file I want to apply the rules, so to drawings, assemblies, or parts. For example, if I just want to convert the drawings, I will select drawings. Under the target file name, I will define where the file will be stored and also how it will be renamed. So for example, I can use the source file. I can create some subfolder, for example, converted documents PDF, and then I will define how the name of the PDF file will be generated. So for example, I can use the source file name. I can use associated, for example, with sheet number, and I can also type values between the different criteria, and I can also use a custom property value from the model or from the drawings. So for example, if I want to also associate the revision number, I can here for 3D model I can define that what configuration I want to convert, so the last active configuration or the configuration, or then I can define the name of a specific one. And for the drawings, for PDF and e-drawings, I can also embed all the sheets into the same target file name. I can run automatically the batch conversion rule, so this means that I do not have to open the custom prints, and the PDF or any other file type will be converted once the file is saved. Copying and renaming your SolidWorks document with the custom copy. The custom copy can be used to copy, save as, rename and move, or just write the property values to the document or create a zip. So here I can add the selected model, so all the drawings and related parts will also be copied. So here I can check the document to copy. So here I have exactly the same custom property pane as the one that I have defined for part and assembly, and I can also select to what kind of document I want, where I want to define the custom properties, so for example for model, and I can just batch write the custom properties to all the documents as well when they are copied. I can generate new file names, so the file naming rules used by CustomTools are exactly the same one that I have defined by in the custom option. So here I just generate the file name, and here we have the new file name generated. For the destination folder, I can specify where the new copy document will be stored. So I can use the original path, and I can use a different folder for the drawings. And I can also keep the structure under the main assembly. So this means that if I have some subfolders, they will also be copied, and the structure will be kept. Linking SolidWorks to your ERP system. The first step to create the link between SolidWorks and your ERP system is to create the link in the administration tool. So under the external database, I have the database that I have already linked. So if I want to add a new link, I will click new. And then I will define the information here, where I can select the provider and define where the data source can be accessed. If you don't know how to do it, you can connect your administrator. Once I have created the link, I can open SolidWorks, and then from the custom options, I need to create a database search group where we define where the information are retrieved from. So under the link database, I can see that I have already defined one group. So I have selected the database and then the table where I wanted to retrieve the information. And then from the selected column, I need to deselect the primary value. So here is the number, which is here. So this value should be unique. And I have some other options also here. So once I have created the search group, I can create a custom property that will allow me to retrieve the information. So for example, we can call it item ERP. I don't define anything here. And then I just go here from the button function. I will click get database item. That will open the little search that will allow me to search things inside my database. And then I just select the database search group that I have created, and I just select what kind of item or property from my ERP that I want to link with that property. Then I just click for example, the number, and I can just add then as many properties as I want, doing it the same way.